everyone. I'm sorry I didn't do any videos last week. Things got kind of crazy with working on the new gym room, which I'm happy to say is almost done. So I'm super excited about that. And when it's done, I will do a full video tour of my small private gym. It's gonna be great. But today I actually wanted to go over a couple of different um, food labels. So I just want to compare two different marinara sauces, spaghetti sauces. I just thought this might be interesting because, there's, obviously some that are a little bit more natural and some that aren't. And this is not an endorsement of one, or I'm not ragging on one. So this is just an interesting just something to be interested in. So the first one is this one here is a Boves tomato sauce, marinara sauce. They make, Boves is actually made right here in Milton, Vermont, where I live, and they are a really good company. They started off as a little restaurant in downtown Burlington, where you could get like a giant plate of pasta. You could get your entire dinner for like $5, and they have closed that restaurant, but they built a big warehouse manufacturing spot here in Milton instead, and they concentrate on, I think they do some catering, but they mostly concentrate on making their sauces and stuff. And the other one I have here is a giant thing of Prego. Camera's turned around on the phone, so it's a lower sodium, whatever. I don't think that really. So it's gonna say Heart Smart. It says Heart Smart on it. Well, those claims on the front of things, like if it says, oh, healthy, oh, this is heart healthy, blah blah blah, that probably doesn't mean anything. They do have to kind of substantiate those claims, but chances are, if that's on there because of like it's lower sodium or fat free or whatever, it doesn't actually make that much of a, the opposite is probably true. So anyway, but I'm gonna go over the ingredients list here. As you can see on the Boves bottle, it is rather short. Prego bottle, it's a little bit longer. There we go. Servings for both are half a cup. And it's interesting because the serving size is half a cup, but on the Boves one, that same half cup is 113 grams, whereas on the Prego, that half cup is 120. Oh, it's mils. I didn't look at the actual measurement here. 120 mils. They actually have grams on Boves. They don't have the grams on this one, on the Prego one. So the calories you have in the Boves is 60 calories, is just 10 calories more for the Prego. But if you read the ingredients list on the Boves, it's just plum tomatoes, tomato puree, which is water and tomato paste, olive oil, fresh onions, salt, fresh garlic, fresh basil, oregano, crushed red pepper. And we bought this, I think we bought this before COVID, so it was probably back in like December, and it's good until 2022. So obviously on that container, there's not much, that's it. There's no preservatives there. It's just all fresh ingredients, canned. So, and it looks good, and I know from experience it tastes yummy. And then you have Your Prego one, which we'll read the ingredients here: tomato puree, water, and tomato paste. So the first ingredient in an ingredients list, obviously it goes from the ingredient that it has the most of in it to the ingredient that has the least of. And so the first ingredient on Boves is actual tomatoes. The first ingredient on the Prego is tomato puree. Diced tomatoes are the second ingredient. Look at this, the third ingredient: sugar. What do you need sugar in it for? I don't understand what you need sugar in this for. Canola oil instead of olive oil, so it's probably, I don't know if it's cheaper to use canola oil as opposed to olive oil or what the benefit of that would be, but it's not as healthy. Obviously, I think everyone knows the benefits of olive oil. And then it contains less than 1% of salt, dehydrated onions, spice, citric acid, which is just preservative, dehydrated garlic, lower sodium sea salt, onion extract, and garlic extract. So instead of using fresh, diced stuff, it's all extracts of those same ingredients. And it has a preservative in it, which the Boves does not. Now, if the Boves you can buy and it lasts for like 3 years, and this you can buy, it probably, maybe it lasts longer. This is actually expired. It expired in January of 2020. I'm not sure when we bought it, probably many years ago. Sometimes things get lost in our pantry. This has been sitting out, but I actually try to avoid, I actually much prefer to use Boves when I do pasta, which isn't super often. But again, this isn't a diss of Prego or anything. I think if you look at, any, big pasta sauce maker, it'd be pretty much the same ingredients. I'm just using this particular one because we had it in the pantry. So this says lower sodium, specifically says lower sodium on the container. And we've got 360 milligrams of sodium in a serving of this. Now the Boves does not say anything specifically about being low sodium or anything like that. And guess how much sodium it has in it? 295 milligrams of sodium, like almost 70 grams less sodium than the low sodium Prego. So that makes you wonder how much the not low sodium has in it. Really makes you wonder. And again, this doesn't have any added sugar or anything in it. There is a total sugars number, which is 5 grams, but 0 added sugars. So they didn't add any. This has 9 grams, so it has just 1 more gram of total sugar, or 1 more gram of like natural sugar from like the tomatoes and stuff in it. But then they added another 3 grams of sugar. This tastes way better. That's my personal opinion. Tastes way better, and it doesn't have any of the crap in it that this does. Why does pasta sauce need sugar in it? Like, what's the point? I don't really know. Maybe because they use the puree as the first ingredient and as the main ingredient, as opposed to the actual tomatoes as the main ingredient. So maybe there's less. No, because there's more sugar per serving, even without the added sugars. So that doesn't make sense either. But this is just an example of where sugar can actually creep into your diet and you don't really realize it, because there's a decent amount of sugar in a serving of this, of big one. And you wouldn't necessarily think about like because why would sugar be in pasta sauce? Like, you know? So I guess, so the moral of this story is to read your labels. And sometimes, I am pretty sure that Boves is more expensive. But if you have the means, and if, sometimes if you have the means and you have the time to read labels, go with the one that doesn't have sugar in it, because there are those out there. There are, things like peanut butter. The second ingredient in peanut butter, in most peanut butters, is sugar. So and I made that mistake once. That's a story for another time. But there's so much here. I will tell the story. So peanut butter has so much sugar in it that it actually, when I was pregnant, I had to have, they have to do the whole gestational diabetes test. And for lunch that day, I thought, I will have peanut butter, good protein, and an apple. And I was at a point in my pregnancy where I didn't want to eat a whole lot of stuff, and peanut butter was one of the few things that I really wanted, and apples. And the apple also has sugar in it, but that was actually enough. The peanut butter and the apple were actually enough to make the test, my blood sugar, too high for the test. So I had to actually do like the fasting one, which was awful. So if there are any pregnant women out there watching me, really be careful about what you eat before that gestational diabetes test, because the fasting one sucks. So anyway, so that was just one comparison of one little of just pasta sauce, and where you might, if you're trying to avoid sugar, where sugar might be sneaking in to your diet. So yeah, I hope that this was helpful, and this wasn't like an advertisement for Boves or anything, although it is really good pasta sauce. And you don't have to feel guilty eating it. You get enough carbs from the pasta. You don't need to get extra carbs from the sauce. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and that it helped you read labels a little bit better. And I will I'll do another video on food labels, because they're actually, they're a tad complicated, and they can be a little complicated and annoying. So but anyway, I will be doing all my videos this week, so I will see you on Friday for a quick workout. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about yet, but I will figure that out. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day on Tuesday. For everyone here in the Northeast and I don't know what the weather is like elsewhere, but it's toasty here in the Northeast, so I hope everyone is staying cool, and I'll see you on Friday.